This is cause number M330184, case of South State of Texas versus Franklin Derrick Golke. Mr. Golke, that's your full name? How you doing, Mr. Golke? That's good. I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Golke. You're representing your case by your attorney, James Macon. And again, Mr. Macon, how are you doing?
I'm doing one.
And state is represented by Attorney Kobe. How are you doing? That's good. Mr. Make, you stated that Mr. Golke has a felony case, is that correct?
That's correct, in Hardin County, Your Honor. I'm very close to working on an agreement on that. I would ask this be reset. His felony will be reset tomorrow because I'm going to be in trial in the 252nd.
Okay, so what we're gonna have to do, you want it set on the same date or after that date?
Just the day after or something. Like
Okay, so what we need to do, you're gonna have to call the
Call in.
court coordinator and let us know what date that is,
I will.
so that she can reset it on that date.
I will do that.
Okay. It's a Hardin County case.
You don't know
No, I don't. I won't know tomorrow.
until tomorrow, okay.
Okay, so we'll reset your case. Stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman. They'll be giving a notice of your reset. Mr. Mickens, is she on the case?
My only one.
Okay, you're free to go,
Thank you.
and you have a blessed day.
You too.
You're welcome. You go, he left. Mr. Allison, are you working out your case?
Doing the plea paperwork right now.
Okay, just let us know when you're ready.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ford.
We won't be bringing on anything. There's upstairs.
Well, you want to- yeah,
Right there.
Yeah, okay. Dusty Bach,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bach, would you please come forward? Is on the pretrial conference page 2 at the bottom. Pretrial conference docket page 2. This is Dusty Wayne Bach. Mr. Bach, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Bach?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Bach. You're represented in your case by Attorney Alan Parker. Attorney Parker, how are you doing?
I'm good, Judge.
That's good. Now, this is cause number M333208. Mr. Parker, what is your announcement in Mr. Bach's case?
It's actually the same in this case and my next case, Judge. There's some circumstances about whether he qualifies for pretrial diversion, and I'm having to provide information to the DA's office,
Okay,
whether he consented or not to the search is what it is. And so
okay,
I'm trying to get that information to them and then we'll know by the next time whether we're going to be able to be in
Okay.
pretrial or not.
okay. So I'm just thinking, the next pretrial date, October. It's October, I think.
I
think they just had it.
2 weeks ago.
Okay,
August.
that's fine. Whatever.
So we're gonna set it second week in October.
That's fine, Judge.
Give us a reset date, October 16th. Okay. And your attorney is gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, from your attorney, Mr. Bach, you be free to go.
Sir.
You have a blessed day. Next case is Cade Martin. As cause number M332026. It's on page 3 of the pretrial conference docket.
Okay.
Mr. Martin, your full name is Cade Robert Martin.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Martin?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. You represented in this case by your attorney, Howard Parker, and the state is represented in this case by attorney Erica Porter. Mr. Porter, how are you doing?
I'm sorry.
Mr. Parker, what is your announcement?
It's the same
Thank-
exact thing as the last case, Judge. There's an issue we haven't provided for the DA's office.
Is it all right? We set on the same
That's
date?
fine.
Okay, this case, Mr. Martin is gonna be set on October 16th of 2023, so that your attorney can have an opportunity to get the paperwork you need to get to the DA's office, see if you qualify for pretrial diversion. You're gonna get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. What's your name? Monk? Okay, y'all can come on up. Yeah, hold on. Where's your client? Yeah, he can come on up. He says Monk.
Mr. Murphy is the other one that I have.
Monk?
My name is Brandon. Yes.
Oh, it's on the trial docket.
Right.
Okay,
There's two cases. Both are mine.
okay, this is cause number M333019. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Elgin Jenkins Jr. Mr. Jenkins, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Jenkins? How are you doing? Okay, that's good. Mr. Jenkins, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Brandon Monk. Attorney Monk, how are you doing?
Very good, sir.
That's good. Now, let's see, this case is on the course of jury trial docket. Okay, what is your announcement?
We're ready. I did see while I was sitting out there, there was a motion that was filed in the case. It looked like at the top, there was a style that may not be the style of this case. I just want to point that out. It was filed by the state.
I didn't file it.
Okay, then
I don't know.
it was your signature, but I'm not saying that you filed it. It looked like it was misfiled in the wrong case to me.
Oh,
No, I haven't filed anything in Jenkins.
I understand, but that's what I'm telling you. It looked like it intended to be filed in Grogan.
Oh, let me see.
but it had, I guess, the wrong cause number or
I think
something.
it went to the wrong case.
No, it's the right cause number. They probably went to maybe the county's attorney's office calls is right. Maybe it went to the wrong case somehow. I'll look back.
Oh,
I'll look back and see what's going on. E-file's been messing up this morning, so I'll look and see what's going on. Something was filed in Grogan this morning, but
okay,
not Jenkins. So nothing should have been filed.
okay. So what's your announcement again?
We're ready.
State?
We're ready as well.
Okay.
It's Judge, it's a 22 case, way down the list.
Yes, y'all.
Yeah, I see that. We'll just have you on, I guess, standby because depending on how the case is shaken down.
Yeah. well,
It might not reach you, but then again, it might. Last week, so you just be on standby. So basically, we'll just reset y'all tomorrow to 1:30. You'll be on standby. We'll let you know our trial order. We're gonna set that sometime this afternoon, once all of the cases are set.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so, Trina, just give them a reset for the morning.
Yes, sir.
1:30.
Yeah, he's number 22 right now.
Right now. Okay, just get your reset and y'all be free to go.
Thanks.
And our office, just stay in contact with the DA's office in our office.
My other case was Murphy, if we wanted to take care of that while I was up here.
Okay? You could go have a seat.
It's also on the trial docket.
Murphy.
Leonard Greg Murphy.
Yes. Lenore Greg Murphy.
He should be outside.
It's on page page 7, the first case on page 7. Oh, it's yeah, y'all. I don't think y'all copy y'all like ours.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah, I know.
this is our, yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, was there bond conditions in this case? In that, because I think that was a deadly conduct.
Yeah, it was a deadly conduct.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna have to give us some bond conditions and make sure we got some bond conditions in this case too. This is a terrorist threat. Okay, this is cause number M331988. Case is filed the state of Texas versus Leonard Greg Murphy. Mr. Murphy, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Murphy?
Doing fine, thank you, Judge.
That's good. Mr. Murphy, you're representing the case by your attorney, Brandon Mont. Attorney Mont, this case is also on the trial deck. What's your announcement?
Ready.
Okay, state,
Say, Judge, Joe.
okay, this is on the,
It's-
it's gonna be the same announcement. We're gonna kind of just have you on standby. I know this is a 22 case, so it's further down the list of the cases that we have set. So what you're gonna do is, she's gonna give y'all recess for tomorrow. And once we get the trial order, we'll let you know whether or not, that date is gonna be reset to give you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, but now what I need to do is, I'm going to get bond conditions to the two gentlemen. You can go ahead and get your recess, which then we'll call it back up. I need. Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session and calls number M331988, case of South State of Texas versus Lenore Murphy. Mr. Murphy, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Murphy, your attorney have before him a document that is titled Standard Bond Conditions. Do you see that document?
Yes, sir.
And that document is titled Standard Bond Conditions. I'm going to go over these conditions with you. Following the return of a criminal information in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
I've been following those rules all my life. I do.
Okay. Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition? Now, condition number 4 does not apply because that only applies in a DWI case. However, in your case, it's not a DWI case, but condition number 5 does apply. So the defendant shall wear a global positioning monitoring system, which is a GPS system device, at the defendant's expense with written verification being submitted to the court within 3 days. Okay. It's commonly referred to as an ankle monitor. You understand that?
Are you asking me if I have an ankle?
No, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you that's what you need to get. A GPS ankle monitor.
Yes, sir. That's what I need to do.
Okay. Now, do you understand these conditions?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Okay, now if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, the warrant will be issued for your arrest and you'll be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand? Okay. Your case has been reset. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go. And you can get the, I guess, the receipt of when you get the ankle monitor, get that to your attorney will get it to the court.
Yes,
All right, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. Okay, next gentleman, Elgin Jenkins. Here you go. This is cause number 333019, case of style of the state of Texas versus Elgin Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, is that your name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Jenkins. Just handed you a document that is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law number 2. And I'm going to go over this document with you, and it states, following the return of a criminal information in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds are executed for release of any defendant named herein or ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense. The defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
Yeah.
Now, condition number 4 does not apply because that only applies to the DWI case. Your case is not a DWI case. However, condition number 5 does apply. Condition number 5 states that the defendant shall wear a global positioning monitoring device, which is a GPS device, commonly referred to as an ankle monitor, at the defendant's expense with written verification being submitted to the court within 3 days. Do you understand that condition? Okay. And your attorney, now if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond will be revoked. If your bond is revoked, you'll be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Now, your attorney, you can give proof of the GPS to your attorney, and your attorney will get that to the court. Okay? All right, you have your reset, you're free to go. You have a blessed day, Mr. Monk, you have a blessed day as well.
You too, Judge, thanks.
Okay,
Motion.
yes, Mr. Vasquez. Patrice Fontenot.
Good morning, y'all.
Morning.
Good morning, Ms. Hall.
More.
We got bond conditions in this one too. Harassment. M 328-484. It's on the trial docket. We probably do, we should. We don't? Okay, let me do this here. Taking a while. There we go. And this is cause number M 328-484. Case is filed the state of Texas versus Patrice Fontenot. Ms. Fontenot, is that your full name? How are you doing, Ms. Fontenot? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Fontenot, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Joel Vasquez. Attorney Vasquez, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. How about you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Vasquez, Ms. Fontenot's case is set on the court's trial docket. And what is your announcement in Ms. Fontenot's case?
It's still trying.
Okay, this thing is not coming out. Thing, here we go. Yeah, I need to give you some bond conditions. Let me read this piece. Okay. Now, Mr. Vasquez, what was your announcement?
It's a trial, Your Honor.
And state,
That's right.
okay,
Judge is number
And
15 on the list.
it's down the list. Yeah, we'll just kind of keep you on standby. And she's gonna give you a reset date for tomorrow. We're gonna set our trial order after this docket is complete. And we'll let you know where you need to go.
Thank you.
Okay, now, Ms. Font, no, I have some bond conditions that I'm going to give you. I can read them to you right now, and then have a copy for you. It says standard bond conditions in County Court at Law number 2, following arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law number 2, Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional condition. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition? Now, condition number 4 and 5 does not, well, condition number 4 does not apply. You're going to get a copy of this bond condition from your attorney. Your case is going to be reset till tomorrow. Once you get a copy of your bond condition reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Stephen Como, cause number M328797 was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m., the courts will be able to call the name of Stephen Como at the courthouse door. Stephen Como did not answer.
I'm on Zoom.
Oh, he's on Zoom? Oh,
That makes sense.
okay. Mr. Como, okay, you on iPhone?
Hold on, let me turn my picture on. I'm sorry.
Okay, well.
Yes, sir.
Come back up. Now, Mr. Como, your case was reset last time to give you an opportunity to receive a copy of the motion to withdraw that was filed by your attorney, Bruce Smith. Have you received a copy of that motion?
Yes, sir. It was mailed to my mother's house. Yes, sir. I ended up
Okay,
getting
do you have any objections to Mr. Smith withdrawing as your attorney of record?
it. No, sir. First, I want to say I appreciate Mr. Smith. It was just I couldn't afford it financially right now.
Okay, so we're gonna reset, we're gonna allow Mr. Smith to withdraw in this case.
Yes.
And Mr. Smith is relieved of any obligations that he have in this case for Mr. Como. So Mr. Mitchell, you're free to go
Thank you, Judge.
and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Now, Mr. Como, your case is going to be reset to give you an opportunity to come into court because as a defendant in a criminal case, you have three options. One, you can hire an attorney. Number two, if you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. Or number three, you can waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself. Do you understand those three options?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
Well, I'm gonna try to get me an attorney because last time they said I couldn't get a quote unquote attorney because I made too much, but I don't understand that.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, Mr. Como, we're gonna reset your case. Now, do you have a bondsman?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, your bondsman are gonna be giving you notice of the reset? Mr. Como, your case is gonna be reset to October
Yes, sir.
9th, at 9 a.m. Stay in contact with your attorney. Stay in contact with your bondsman. You're free to go. Your attorney, Mr. Smith, is withdrawn, has been relieved from your case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
You too, sir.
Right. This is cause number M333320. What's your full name?
Juliana Ray.
Juliana Reyes.
R-E-Y.
This is cause number M333320. Case is filed in the state of Texas versus Noel Alejandro Rivera.
Yes.
Mr. Rivera, is that your full name?
Yes.
Okay, now, Mr. Rivera, you're represented in your case by attorney Christopher Bailey, who is not here today. However, standing in for attorney Christopher Bailey is attorney Juliana Reyes. Does Ms. Reyes have your permission to stand in for your attorney Christopher Bailey?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Rivera, how are you doing?
Good.
And Mr. Reyes, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Now, Ms. Reyes, what is your announcement in Mr. Rivera's case?
Well, actually, Judge, we were speaking earlier, my understanding is Mr. Rivera was accepted into the pre-trial
Oh,
diversion program.
he
We were
was.
having an issue with paperwork.
Paperwork, he has a signed contract.
You got to do a signing.
Right.
So that's why I believe, I mean, what I told, we'd announce and maybe they'd check upstairs
Right.
about signing on the contract, because he wasn't part of
Yeah.
the list that I got 2 weeks ago. So he needs to.
You
sign
talking about the
contract.
upcoming list?
No,
The
no,
upcoming date,
last
Santa
one.
Fe, the last one.
Yes, so.
Okay, he might be on the
Seems like
next,
He may have been accepted,
but he wasn't scheduled.
but it's not scheduled, so I think they need to check with
Right.
our office
Okay.
about
Now, the next signing is October.
October. We need to.
We
reset.
can reset it to the second week in October.
The 16th.
Yeah, you're gonna put it on the 16th. He's on page 2 of the pretrial conference docket.
The second week is actually the week of the 9th.
But I think she put it on the 16th, right?
Right, because, that Thursday,
That's per 16th.
Yeah. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so normally what happens is if he signs his contract on the 5th, they'll dismiss it probably on the 5th. And this date, the October 16th date, will be no good because it'll be taken out of the system. He won't have to show up
Okay.
because,
So on the 5th, we come to the sign.
yeah, it's upstairs on the 3rd floor. But you make sure that's the date. If it's a different date, you need to they need to call the court and let us know because the next day is gonna be in December.
Got it.
So we just anticipating that it may be it may be in October. It may not, it might be in December. I don't know.
I'll go upstairs now and.
Okay, all right. We'll give you a reset day.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And nice seeing you. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. You have a blessed day as well. Okay. Mr. Razzo.
Yeah, but, you got stuff. You know, from our chief. Yeah. Okay.
Juan Ledesma, he showed up?
Hey.
Oh, y'all had a paperwork ready? Oh, she don't. We need to get it from the debt. Just have a seat. We'll call you again. Do we have any pleas ready?
Just.
Are we still in the trial docket?
Yeah, hold on a minute.
Let me look at it.
Let's go.
Well, try with Carrie on draw logic. Right.
Oh,
I
yes,
see
yeah,
your email.
Carrie, Dennis,
Being sick.
Yeah.
Dennis DeShawn Carey.
Yeah. Could we pass it? I've been real sick and I'm still under the doctor.
Judge, you sent me, counsel sent me an email. I don't have a problem with that. He has been ill.
So you don't have a problem. Now, is Mr. Carey here?
Yes, sir. He's here.
Where is he? Did you come forward?
We have the number one setting, the guy in custody, Lamar.
Right, I know.
I talked,
This is gonna be so the state is not
we're not.
opposed to the defense continuing.
Yes.
Okay, give us a reset date.
Could we get some time? Because I'm
How
still,
much time you need?
they're still running tests on me now under a doctor.
About 90 days?
That'd be great.
Okay, reset in about 90 days. Now, Mr. Carey, your case is gonna be reset 90 days. So that your attorney be healthy enough to try the case. Okay,
Thank you.
once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Hall, this your only case?
Yes.
You're free to go as well. You have a blessed day. What is that date? Okay, it's gonna be reset to November 13th, 2023. Yes, yeah.
Should be ready now. Please.
Yeah, I think she said she just got one from the DA's office.
That's the-
Trying to look it up now,
doesn't hear.
see which one is it.
Okay, okay. They both did, okay, okay.
But what's his,
I have a Baptiste that's ready.
There's a discovery.
Yeah.
But not.
332-420.
You did, you signed up on it.
He got the discovery story.
That's not, yeah, but either one of us takes a hundred. It's fine.
We're gonna do Baptiste. Yes. Jordan Baptiste. We're on the pre-trial conference. Okay. No, I get it. I get that. Baptiste. Jordan. Let's see, this is
It's easy, but
Baptiste.
so, just come to the number.
December 18th.
That's the one on the trial docket. December 18th.
I gave it. This shit right here, you need that?
Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number M332-432. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Jordan Latrey Baptiste. Mr. Baptiste, is that your full name? Mr. Baptiste, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Baptiste, do you swear firm and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Baptiste, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Baptiste? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Baptiste, you're representing the case by your attorney, Terrence Allison. Attorney Allison, how are you doing?
I'm fine, good, thank you for asking.
That's good. Mr. Allison, do you waive a record
Yes, Your
in
Honor.
Mr. Baptiste's case?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Baptiste, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was this again. Okay. Okay, this information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Baptiste, it alleges that on or about November 21st of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Baptiste, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Baptiste, to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contact.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Really?
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
What's fine?
Mr. Baptiste, I also have before me a document that is titled to misdemeanor plea admonishment. Is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of the same document, there is a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked no contender, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, it's titled trial court certification. of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are two boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me on paper a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, well, now, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Baptiste, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State. I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's number 2, the probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objections. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Ms. Allison, you advised in counsel, Mr. Baptiste, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
He is competent, highly intelligent.
Mr. Baptiste, your attorney has advised in counsel, are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Baptiste, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waiver were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
Oh, this thing just clicked off. And what is that agreement?
In consideration for the defendant's plea of no contest, the state has been willing to offer 90 days in jail, probated for 1 year, $500 fine, 60 hours community service, forfeiture of the Taurus G3C 9mm weapon as well.
Is there any community service?
60 hours. Yeah.
60. Forfeiture. Okay, Mr. Baptiste, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you not have to serve any jail time, any time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case, because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor.
Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, they checked the wrong box. Somebody checked deferred. Who?
He did, but
Okay.
I can
somebody
fix it.
did. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. Mr. Baptiste, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you're not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine, $500 plus court costs. Hold on a minute, we gotta calculate this. You know what the court cost is on this one? 457. Okay, now, Mr. Baptiste, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During your 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $457. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $170 a month. Will you be able to pay the $170 each month?
Yes, sir.
You also be required to perform 60 community service. You will forfeit the weapon in this case. I have before me a document that is tied up motion to forfeit. And do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's tied to defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, before you signed and initial this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Baptiste, you want the court to grant this motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Baptiste, court is going to grant this motion to forfeit the weapon to the Jefferson County Sheriff Department. I'm signing the forfeiture. Now, Mr. Baptiste, you also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Do you understand that? Now, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in this case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Baptiste, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you've entered into with the state. Mr. Baptiste, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of the clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go.
Thank you.
And you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
Court is back in session. Court is in session at clause number 23 CCCR 0228, case of style of the state of Texas versus Juan M. Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, would you please come forward? Traffic. Oh, this is a JP appeal. I mean, municipal appeal, Class C appeal. Okay. Mr. Rodriguez, is your full name Juan Rodriguez?
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Rodriguez? Good morning, same to you. Now, Mr. Rodriguez, you're representing your case by your attorney Jeffrey C. O'Neill, Mr. O'Neill, excuse me, Odell.
Yes.
Mr. Odell, how are you doing?
Great.
That's good. Mr. Odell, what is your announcement in Mr. Rodriguez's case?
We'll announce ready for trial.
State,
We're ready on.
okay. Now, we have to give it a trial order. If he's down the list,
Understood.
I can get the list if you want me to tell you.
no, well, he's down, I know he's down the list.
13 to 14.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is you just be on standby. We're gonna set the trial order once. I don't know what kind of movement we're gonna get.
Number 10.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of move we're gonna get on the cases ahead. So we'll just reschedule it for tomorrow at 1:30. We'll let you know this afternoon. Because 1:30 is when we pick jurors
I understand that.
on Tuesdays. All right. All right, you can get your reset. Once you get your reset, now you stay in contact with your attorney. Mr. Rodriguez, you're free to go once you get your reset. And Mr. Odell, once you get your reset, you'll be free to go as well. And y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
No, I'm trying to see if we have the time on this.
Yes, Mr. Rodriguez.
And I'm currently also set for trial tomorrow in Waller County.
Oh, okay.
In mornings, I don't know if that's gonna extend into the afternoon.
Okay, so we may, well, that's a smaller county there. Priority it was. Wow. Yeah, we'd have to give him a reset.
Good, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So set, let me see. Mr. Salazar, you can take your mic off of mute. Court is in session and calls numbers M333128, M333138. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Sergio Omar Salazar. We have bond conditions in this case. Mr. Salazar, how are you doing?
Hi, good morning, Your Honor. I'm pretty good, and you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Salazar, you're representing you in both of your cases by your attorney, Attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
Great, Judge. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Galmore, Mr. Salazar's cases are on the court's announcement docket. And Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Salazar's cases?
Judge, we'd like to set his cases for trial.
Okay, going to reset both cases on the trial docket?
Yes.
Is that correct? Let me see if he has.
Yes.
He does, okay. Okay, Mr. Salazar, your cases are gonna be reset on our trial docket. Just hold on, we're gonna give you your trial date. Okay, your trial date is October 2nd of 2023. Mr. Salazar, stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Again, your trial date is October 2nd, 2023. You're free to go. Thanks for being patient with us, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. You too.
You're welcome. Mr. Galmore, you can get your reset.
All right.
Mr. Galmore, let's see. You need me to hold on those or?
No.
Okay. Jacob DeQueer.
He's on.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Mr. DeQueer. This is cause number M327528. Case of style of state of Texas versus Jacob Matthew DeQueer. How are you doing, Mr. DeQueer?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks. Thanks for asking, Mr. DeQueer. You're representing the case by your attorney, Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. DeQueer's case?
Ready, Judge.
State.
That's right, Joe.
Okay, so Mr. DeQueer, you're gonna be on, he's kind of close, huh? You're gonna be on standby. Your attorney, we're gonna give your attorney reset for 1:30 tomorrow. Now, you need to be here in person with your attorney at 1:30 tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Unless something's changed, we'll let your attorney know, and you can get your reset here in court. Now, you're free to go, Mr. DeQueer, and you have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jorge Bo Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, I wonder if he has his. Oh. Mr. Galvin,
Yes.
I don't think he can hear anything that we're saying because he doesn't have his, he's not connected.
Put him on speaker real quick, Judge.
Okay. She's not connected either, that person at all. TCLA3X, so whoever that person is. Actually, I don't think nobody, they didn't connect. See, she's trying to say something, but she's not connected. She don't have, they don't have the audio on.
Mr. Gonzalez, this is, we're in court. Your audio on the computer is not working, so I have you on speakerphone and the judge can hear you. Can you hear us? No, can you hear us?
I think.
Okay, we're just gonna keep you on here.
Okay. This is cause number M325296, case of style of state of Texas versus Jorge Bo Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez is appearing via Zoom. His audio is not on, however, his attorney, Mr. Dustin Galmore, has him on the telephone. And so, Mr. Gonzalez, can you hear us? Can you hear me? Okay, good. Now, Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Gonzalez's case?
Your Honor, on this one, we are conducting discovery on blood,
Okay,
and so we'll need another.
reset. Okay, so you hadn't got the blood discovery yet.
Correct.
Okay, give us a reset date. October 2nd. Let me do this here. Put him out a little further than October 2nd. Because you're still trying to get the blood discovery. Yeah,
That's great. That's the one that was done last week.
yeah. He's on the, oh, I thought he was talking to me. Yeah, give him about 90 days. Okay, your case is gonna be reset. Well, he can't hear. Oh. Okay, your case is gonna be reset. Mr. Gonzalez, give us a date.
Yes, I'm about to. Have to get out of this one. December or December?
Mr. Galmo,
It didn't matter to me, whatever.
let's do December because it takes a while to get these.
That's the one that.
Okay, this case is gonna be reset to December 4th, 2023. Mr. Gonzalez, stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman. You're free to go and you have a blessed day. And, all right. And next case is Natasha Richard.
She's present at the courtroom.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is cause number M334148, case of style of state of Texas versus Natasha Rebecca Richard. I think we got this one too. Ms. Richard, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Richard?
Good, and yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Richard, you're represented by Attorney Galmore. Attorney Galmore, what is your announcement in Ms. Richard case?
Judge, it's no trial.
Okay, are you ready? It's on the draw.
We're ready.
State,
We're ready.
okay. So,
23.
yeah, it's at the end, but we're gonna get a trial order this afternoon. We'll have her on standby.
That'll be fine, Judge.
It'll be reset for 1:30 tomorrow. Just get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
And it's set for tomorrow?
Yes, it's a 1:30. We'll let you know whether or not your case is gonna get reached. Is that that's your last case?
Should be.
Okay, so you're free to go and you have a blessed day. I have some bond conditions that I need to give you. I'm going to read them to you, and then we're gonna make a copy, give you a copy of these bond conditions. Bond conditions, it's titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Following the arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of the defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol anytime as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense. The defendant shall not go to any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that
Yes, sir.
condition? Now, Ms. Richard, condition number 4 doesn't apply to you because that only applies in a DWI case. And since your case is not a DWI case, it doesn't apply to you. Now, if you violate any one of these conditions that applies to you, your bond will be revoked and a warrant will be issued for your arrest. You'll be arrested and placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're gonna get a copy of these bond conditions made for you. Once you get a copy of the bond conditions, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. Please stand over in front of the court coordinator. Yes. Okay. I may have to.
Hello?
Ma'am, would you please state your full name?
Michaela Isaac.
Okay, Ms. Isaac, please put your mic on mute when you call your case. You can take it off the mute.
Okay, I'm sorry, it's first time using it.
All right, thank you. Court is back in session. Court is in session in two cases. Cause number M332-239 and cause number M332-241. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Chelsea Washington. Ms. Washington, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Washington, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Washington, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Washington, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Ms. Washington? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Washington. You representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole, how are you doing?
Great job.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Cole. Do you waive a record in Ms. Washington's cases?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Washington, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Chelsea Washington, on or about March 26th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of assault. Ms. Washington, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Ms. Washington, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest? Now, you pleading no contest.
Yeah, guilty.
She pleading guilty?
I guess we need to.
Change it? Okay. Okay, here you go. That's right there. Okay. Ms. Washington. Okay. I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about March 26th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of assault. Ms. Washington, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Ms. Washington, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Ms. Washington, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. Do you recognize this document? It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 2 of this document, there's a set of initials, CW, on a line next to a box that's checked no to continue, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? On the next document, that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Yes, sir. At the top of this document, there are two boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that statement? Also, I have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? Yes, sir. And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Yes, sir. Now, Ms. Washington, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents? Yes. And did your attorney go over these documents with you? Yes. And did you understand everything that he went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Yes, sir. Ms. Washington, are you a citizen of the United States? Yes. State. I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit.
Okay.
No objections? You like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Cole, you advised and counsel, Ms. Washington, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, yeah.
And Ms. Washington, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation? Ms. Washington, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt statement. Do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for a plea of guilty or no contest, state agree to recommend 90 days probated for 1 year, $1,000 fine and court costs, 60 hours community-based service, restitution of $2,000 and $2,007.
2007,
Yes, sir.
payable to,
0.05 payable to Sabrina Malonzo. All other standard terms and conditions. Also part of this plea agreement, Your Honor, dismiss the companion case of M332-239.
says Okay, Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session in 2 cases, cause numbers M332239 and cause number M332241. Cases style of state of Texas versus Chelsea, Washington. Ms. Washington, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail. You will be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $337. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, a reimbursement fee of $15. You will also be required to pay reimburse Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $300, and you'll be required to pay restitution in the amount of $2,007.05 to Sabrina Malonzo. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount you'll be required to pay each month, is $341 a month. Will you be able to pay the $341 each month? You will?
Really not sure.
Okay. Did she have any, she had court costs of 60. Okay, let me do this. Now, do we have her affidavit in just? Okay. Ms. Washington, I'm handing you attorney a document that's titled Jefferson County Affidavit of the Indigents. Do you recognize that document? Now, now on page 2 of that same document, maybe on the back page, is that your signature where it says defendant signature? Now, you could turn the page back over. Is everything in that document still true and correct today?
Yes, sir.
Any changes?
No, sir.
Okay. Why don't you get that back to me? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
That was a forfeiture.
Okay, the person that's on Samsung SM, please put your mic on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, could you please put your mic on mute? We're in
Yes, sir.
court.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Judge County Code Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and clause number M332186. Case is style of state of Texas versus Juan Ledesma. Mr. Ledesma, is that your full name? Juan Alejandro Ledesma? Okay. Mr. Ledesma, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Ledesma, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Ledesma, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Ledesma?
All right, and you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Ledesma. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Laura Perazzo. Attorney Perazzo, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's good. Ms. Perazzo, do you waive a record in Mr. Ledesma's case?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Ledesma, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Ledesma, it alleges that you, Juan Ledesma, on or about September 6th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawful carrying weapon, a license holder. Mr. Ledesma, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Ledesma, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? That's correct? Now, Mr. Ledesma,
Yes, sir.
okay. Now, Mr. Ledesma, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Mr. Ledesma, do you recognize this document?
Yes. Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, JAL, that's for Juan Alejandro Ledesma,
Yes, sir.
and those initials are on the line next to a box that's checked no contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, there's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line is titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line? It's titled defendant. Mr. Ledesma, before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Ms. Perazzo, go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Ledesma, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
State, I have before me States Exhibits number 1 and States Exhibit number 2. The misdemeanor plea admonishment, which is in this court's, or well, the probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, would you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, sir.
Any objections? No objections. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. I need some copy of this. And Ms. Perazzo, you advised and counseled Mr. Ledesma, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Ledesma, your attorney, Ms. Perazzo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Ledesma, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that you plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargaining agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Exchange for plea of guilty or no contest. State agree to recommend 180 days, probated for 1 year, $750 fine, and court costs 60 hours community service, forfeit of the weapon, and also forfeit of the handgun license.
That's correct, Your Honor.
We're gonna just confiscate the license here in court. You should have it on it.
I don't have it.
You don't.
I don't ever carry it. After that happened, I don't carry it again another license.
Okay, now do we have an order to that effect
That's the
besides the
judge.
judgment?
Well, the judgment is that we don't have a form. You want me to use a forfeiture of a weapon form for the license?
No,
I don't-
I'm not saying that.
I don't know.
I'm just saying normally when we take license, we take it in the court, we confiscate it from it.
So we need to reset it so they can bring it.
We need to get it, we need to get that line unless he can return it today.
Today, Your Honor, for court comment.
Yeah,
That's fine with me.
That's fine.
It's court.
we need to get that, okay. All right. What's this one? 80, that's 750 fine, right? Okay. Mr. Let's see, that's a 750 fine. You know, what is it? What is the Desmond sport cost? Okay. Now, Mr. Desmond, I also have with me as part of this plea bargaining agreement, a motion to forfeit the weapon, in this case to the Beaumont Police Department. Do you recognize this motion to forfeit?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's tied to defendant?
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Ledesma, before you signed this document, did your attorney, Ms. Arrazzo, go over this document with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in this document? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you want the court to grant this motion of forfeit, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Ledesma, the court is going to grant this motion of forfeit the weapon, in this case, to the Beaumont Police Department. The court has signed this motion. Let me get a copy. What was that, court cost? 20. Needed your court costs, because I have to calculate what your fees will be. That's 750. Mr. Brother, were you appointed in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, this one case. Okay, Mr. Desmond, state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you'll not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs of $420. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month. You'll be required to pay a reimbursement fee of $15, and you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. The total monthly installments, that is a total amount that you'll be required to pay each month, is $212 a month. Will you be able to pay the $212 each month? Okay. Hold on a minute. We have a copy of his affidavit. Yes,
I have a copy of it, Your Honor.
you do?
Yeah.
Would you? Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Could you please show this document to your client, Mr. Desmond? The attorney is showing you a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Injuries that has your name on it. Do you recognize that document?
Yeah.
On page 2 of that document, there's a signature. It's on the back. Flip it over. There's a signature at the top that says defendant signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Is everything still in true, correct on that document today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Ledesma. Okay, now, Mr. Ledesma, the court has previously found that you were indigent. The court will make that finding again today that you are indigent. And based on that finding, the court costs, let's see, $750. That's it. It'll be 94 hours. Now, Mr. Ledesma, the court is going to convert your fine and court costs to community service. And that it comes to 94 hours of community service. So that means that the fine and court costs will be worked off in community service. Now, this community service will be in addition to the 60 hours of community service that you are required to do. So your total community service is going to be 154 hours.
Okay.
Okay, now, state is offering that you pay a fine of $750 plus court costs of $420. That's going to be converted to community service. You also, now, you'll be required to pay so your probation, your total fee that you'll be required to pay each month is going to be $105, well, $106 a month. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You'll be able to pay that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you'll also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of probation. In this case, you forfeit the weapon, in this case, to the Beaumont, I think it's the Beaumont Police Department. And you also surrender your handgun license. That will be forfeited as well. And you're going to turn that in by 5 p.m. today. You're going to give that to your
I'm gonna
attorney.
have it in my car so I can go out.
Okay,
Make
that's
a
fine.
check.
All right. Now, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Ledesma, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. You're gonna stand on the, well, Mr. Ledesma, I also have is she? I need she has the original. I need a copy to give to him. Okay, Ms. Razzo, could you hand this document to your client? Now, Mr. Ledesma, your attorney is handing your document that is titled Model Written Ammunition on Ineligibility to Possess a Firearm or Ammunition. In accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, Section 176.1, the court hereby admonishes you of the following. Number one, you are by entry of order or judgment ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Number two, beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number three, under Texas Penal Code, firearms mean any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion or burning substance, or any device readily convertible to their use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, an antique or carry firearm manufactured before 1899, or two, a replica of an antique or carry firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure Article 17.292, Magistrate's Orders for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure Article 42.0131, Notice for persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, Unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bonding and family violence, child abuse or neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Family Code Section 85.026, warning on protective order. Now, the written admonition that has been given to you is for your records. Once you finish in court, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Please stand on the X next to your attorney and follow the directions of our clerk.
Honor, I also have two more cases, but they are the appeals cases from the Dallas attorney. One is Garcia Romero.
It's on the announcement docket.
I believe so, Your Honor. And then the other one is
Romero, Ledesma.
he's with my cases, my other.
You mean Romero Garcia? Okay,
Garcia, and then there's also I don't see my name.
the other one is Rigoberto Rios.
Yes, and I think they're appearing by the same.
Somebody just stood up.
Rios, okay. Perfect.
Okay, now, Mr. Rios, would you come forward? And this is cause number 23CCCR0540. Cases, your name is Rigoberto Rios. Mr. Rios, how are you doing? And Mr. Rios, actually, you're represented by your attorney, Takash. Mr. Takash is not here. Standing in for Mr. Takash is Miss Lori Peraza. Does she have your permission to stand in for Mr. Takash? And Ms. Peraza, what is your announcement?
Your Honor, if I could just hold that for a moment,
Oh,
we may be
okay.
able to dispose of
Okay,
this
that's
today.
fine.
I just need a moment. to speak
All right,
with him.
just have a seat. The next case is Romeo Garcia.
I think it's Romero.
They don't have an R.
Oh, it might be Romero.
Okay. Is that Romeo Garcia? Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Your first name is Romeo or Romero?
Romeo, sir. Romeo.
All right. Now, Mr. Garcia, you're represented by Mr. Takash. Mr. Takash is not here. Standing in for Mr. Takash is Ms. Lori Peraza. Does Ms. Peraza have your permission to stand in for Mr. Takash?
Yes, Your Honor, she does.
And Ms. Ms. Peraza, what is your announcement?
Your Honor, if we can just get a reset date, and just advise, Mr. Garcia. that
He needs to be here in
In
person.
person, and then we can dispose of his case.
Okay, give us a reset date.
October the 9th.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, this case is gonna be reset to October the 9th. You need to be here in person on that day.
Okay.
All right, so you need to be here in person. The case is reset for October the 9th. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you,
And-
Your Honor. Likewise.
Peraza, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. I'm gonna speak with Mr. Garcia.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna add you to that case as well. Thank you. If I do find. Yeah, let me see. It should be a.
Did we ever get Hutchins?
It went
Okay,
through.
here we go. Okay, here we go. Courtney Allen, Elaine Hutchins. Oh. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and cause number M332420. Case is style the state of Texas versus Courtney Elaine Hutchins. Ms. Hutchins, is that your full name? Ms. Hutchins, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Hutchins, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Ms. Hutchins, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Hutchins? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Hutchins, you represented your case by your attorney Terrence Allison. Attorney Allison, how are you doing? That's good. Mr. Allison, do you waive a record in Ms. Hutchins' case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hutchins, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleged that you, Courtney Elaine Hutchins, on or about October 14 of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Second, this information further alleged that prior to the commission of this offense, that you, Courtney Elaine Hutchins, on April 30 of 2015, in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, and cause number 304788, that you were convicted of the misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. And that offense, and that conviction rather, became final before the commission of this offense. Is that true or not true? Now, Ms. Hutchins, to this information, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No problem.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hutchins, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea of Minors. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
It's also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line that's next to a box that's checked no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes.
And on the next document is titled Trial Court Certification of the Defendant's Right of Appeal. You recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? You do. I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Hutchins, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Ms. Allison, go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Ms. Hutchins, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
State. I have before me States Exhibits 1 and 2. You like to offer States 1 and 2 in evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections, Mr. Allison? No objections. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Allison, you advising counsel, Ms. Hutchins, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
She is competent.
Ms. Hutchins, your attorney, Mr. Allison, is advising counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Ms. Hutchins, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
And reference to defendants, an acceptance of defendant's plea of contest, the state has offered 180 days in jail, probated for 12 months, $100 community service, $750 fine, interlock, 72 hours in Jefferson County Jail, beginning 10/13, to be served that weekend at or before 6:00 p.m. Court calls.
That's 72 hours. Ms. Allison, were you appointed on this case?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Hutchins, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You'll not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case, because this 180 days will be probated for a period of 12 months. During the 12-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs of $447. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, your analysis fee of $80 each month, and a restitution fee of $15 each month. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County Jefferson County DWI class an initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the police. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $193 a month. Will you be able to pay the $193 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform $100 hours of community service. You'll be required to serve 72 hours in the Jefferson County Jail beginning October 13th, 2023 at or before 6 p.m. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of probation, and this is a DWI second. So you're also required to have an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. Ms. Hutchins, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer? Ms. Hutchins, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Hutchins, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Mr. Allison, I think this is your last case. You're free to go as well. You have a blessed day. Jefferson County Code Law number 2 is in session. The court is in session and calls number M331876, case of style of state of Texas versus DeAndre Jalen Kelly. Mr. Kelly, is that your full name? How are you doing, Mr. Kelly? I'm doing fine. Mr. Kelly, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Kelly, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Kelly, you may put your hand down. Kelly, you represented in the case by your attorney, Attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor.
And good morning. And Mr. Paget, you waive a record in Mr. Kelly's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Kelly, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, DeAndre Jalen Kelly, on or about May 17th of 2020, and continuing through on or about May 19th of 2020, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of theft. Mr. Kelly, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Kelly, how did you plead guilty? Not guilty, no contest.
No comment.
Now, you pleaded no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yeah.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yeah.
Mr. Kelly, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, also labeled State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked, no continuing. Do you recognize this document? And are these your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document, that's titled Trial Court Certification to Defendant's Right of Appeal, you recognize this document. And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? Yes, speak up.
Yes, sir.
And I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Kelly, before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Paget, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kelly, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, sir.
Any objections?
No objections to States 1 and 2.
No objections. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Court will take judicial notice of the court's file. State's Exhibit Number 2. Mr. Paget, you advised in counsel, Mr. Kelly, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None, Your Honor.
And Mr. Kelly, your attorney, Mr. Paget, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Sir.
Mr. Kelly, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yeah.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for Mr. Kelly's plea of no contest, the state has agreed to offer 12 months deferred adjudication, $500 fine, 60 hours community service, court costs $822.21, restitution to Dollar General,
It's
$22.21.
$22.21.
That is our understanding, Your Honor.
Okay, to Dollar General.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any, what's the community service?
60 hours, Your Honor.
60 hours community service. All right. Okay, Mr. Kelly, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $387 plus probation fee of $60 each month, a your analysis fee of $15 each month, a reimbursement fee of $50. Now your total monthly installments for this will be $164 a month. Will you be able to pay the $164 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. Uh-oh, I think I forgot to put the restitution in there. That's 8.
No problem, Your Honor.
Let me do that. Let me see. The restitution is 800.
2221.
Yeah, I'm adding it into his monthly installments.
Unless you want to leave it. No, ain't happening today. You'll be on top of your game today, huh? You might have caught it. Sorry. I won't bite you on it.
That, that came just it up. No. It is right. Okay, now let me do this here. The restitution, and once I add the restitution in, that's 26. That'll be $238 a month. Will you be able to pay the $239 a month? Will you be able to pay the $239 each month? You will? It's $239. Okay. You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. Let me do this. Let's see. You have a fine of $500, court costs of $387, $60 a month for a probation fee, $15 a month for reimbursement, drug reimbursement fee, and $15 just for a reimbursement fee. Restitution of $822.21 comes to total each month of $239 a month. And you will be able to pay that. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Do you understand that? Now, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Kelly, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Kelly, if you successfully complete your probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record. And you may qualify for non-disclosure. You could talk to your attorney about non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Mr. Kelly, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of the clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Yes, I'm giving it to you here. Derek Ryan Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, your full name is Derek Ryan Jenkins.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Jenkins?
Well, how about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Jenkins. You're representing the case by your attorney, James Paget, Attorney Paget, what is your announcement in Mr. Jenkins' case?
Well, Your Honor, it's on the trial docket today. We have worked the case out. I wasn't able to quite do so with Mr. Johnson, but Ms. Porter and I have worked the case out.
Oh, yeah, I
If
have.
we could have 30 days certain on a plea, it's going to be $1,000 fine plus court cost, and my client I just need to find out the court cost. And then
Okay,
he'll come with the
okay.
specific amount
Okay.
on the next day.
Give us a plea date. It's on the trial docket, page 7, second from the bottom.
So we can do September 18th.
Is there any way we could do, the 18th and 25th, I'm gonna be unavailable, either maybe the week before or the week after that, whatever pleases the court.
October 2nd.
That's perfect.
Okay, so to be reset to October 2nd, 2023. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Patrick, that's the last case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed
Thank
day.
you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Porter.
Mr. Matuska? Mr. Porter, you might have to get his client out. He's. Yes, Daniel Troy LeBlanc. Uh-oh. Okay, this is cause number. Okay, the cause number 23 CCCR 0020 case style state of Texas versus Daniel Troy LeBlanc. Mr. LeBlanc, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. LeBlanc?
Doing good, sir.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. LeBlanc, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Ryan Matuska. Attorney Matuska, how you doing?
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Matuska. What is your announcement in Mr. LeBlanc's case?
Well, Your Honor, first off, I think Mr. Blunt's family would like to come in the courtroom. Somehow they feel like
They're not in here?
all of they request that they all be in here.
I mean, the doors are open. If they have seats for them, they can sit in here. Okay,
I just want to make sure of that.
yeah, the doors are open. It's open to the public.
You good with that?
That's fine.
Second of all, Your Honor, I wanted to ask my client if there's a perceived conflict between me and.
A conflict?
Okay,
Oh,
well, then we're ready, Your Honor.
okay. Safe?
Safe.
Okay. Okay, so we'll pick a jury tomorrow at 1:30.
Okay.
Okay? This is the probably number
It
one.
is a number one.
Okay,
You think that's the issue?
okay. That's true. Okay, so Mr. LeBlanc,
Your Honor, Mr. Hopper knows, but I have subpoenaed the complaining witness to bring her children as guardian parent. So the witness. 820 matches. This is for, no. Okay. 115.
The state's also just as a witness, she's been subpoenaed and to bring
okay,
minor children.
okay, well, we'll deal with that tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. So this case is reset for 1:30 on tomorrow.
Your Honor, one other thing, I do have federal court on Thursday. I just wanted to make it aware.
That's fine. That's Thursday. Okay. All right. We okay. So this case is set reset to 1:30 tomorrow. All right. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Do you have any other cases?
I've got one more on the trial docket. I've got two.
You have another one on this product?
dockets.
Hold on a minute. Oh, okay. Matthew Tynan Downs.
I believe he's outside, Your Honor.
Okay, just hold on a minute.
Sorry, yeah.
Bailiff. Mr. Bailiff, would you please get Matthew Downs? Say he may be outside. This is cause number M 332-798, case of style, state of Texas versus Matthew, is that Kynan? Canaan Downs. How you doing, Mr. Downs? That's good. Mr. Downs, you represented your case by your attorney, Brian Matuska. Attorney Matuska, what's your announcement?
Your Honor, I believe we have all discovery already.
Okay, state.
State's ready.
All right. So this case is reset to tomorrow at 1:30. And Mr. We'll just put you on standby. Once we get our trial order, we'll let you know whether or not it'll be reset. But it's tomorrow's tenant is reset for tomorrow at 1:30. You need to be here at 1:30. Okay, your attorney's gonna get you reset. Mr. Matuski, you have another case? Is that it?
Your Honor, I've got a Miss Jackson that was bench warrant from
Bitch?
Plain State Jail. I believe Judge Stevens bench warranted her. She said here on the case.
Oh, the district, she was bench warranted by district court?
Yes, sir. But I believe she said it won today.
Is she on our docket?
We may be able to work that out.
Okay, you think you might be able to work it out? Okay, yeah, that's Christy Jackson. Christy Lorraine Jackson. Okay, so
Yes,
she's in
yes.
jail. Oh, yes, and she has two cases. Okay, so once you finish with that case down there, just you can come back down here.
Okay.
All right.
And I got one more.
Is that Lashana Alexander? Lashana Renee Nicole Alexander? Oh, she's okay. So she's in a district court right now.
Okay, I'll check.
And that's the only one, the only other one you have?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll be waiting for her when she comes check in. Unless they're gonna have that docket this afternoon. Do you know if she's on the docket this afternoon? Okay, just let us know something. All right. Mr. West?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to, we're trying to back up one, so I have one to be honest.
Okay, I hold. Mr. Matuska? The coordinator needs you. We the person that's on Zoom that has TCL83X, would you please take your mic off of mute and state your name?
Yes, sir. It's Michaela Isaac.
Michaela Isaac? Okay,
Yes,
hold
sir.
on. Okay, you can put your mic back on mute. Okay, this is cause number M 331 322, case of style of state of Texas versus Travion LaShawn Franklin. Mr. Franklin, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Franklin? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Franklin. You're represented by your attorney, Attorney John West. Attorney West, how are you doing?
Great, Your Honor, thank you.
And Mr. West, what is your announcement in Mr. Franklin's case?
Your Honor, I think we have a deal worked out or almost worked out, but we'd like one more time to get everything finalized and.
So we're gonna put it on the plea docket?
Yeah, plea document in about 30 days or whatever the next.
Travion LaShawn Franklin on page 5 of the announcement docket. Page 5 of the announcement docket, Travion LaShawn Jackson. He's the last one. We're gonna reset it to the plea docket.
September 18 or October 2nd.
You just found me. Got nothing either.
September 18th, 2023. Mr. Franklin, your attorney gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Blessed day.
You'll give them
Okay, next. hearing all three cases is cause number M331322, cause number M331324, cause number M333512. And I'm going to read these bond conditions to you, and then you'll be given a copy of these conditions by our clerk. The document is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2, and it reads as follows. Following the return of a criminal information in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number, do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition? Okay, let's see. He has 3 cases.
The criminal mischief.
He has a criminal mischief on 1 case, yeah.
Yeah, Your Honor, but it's for us police department.
It's police department. He damaged the car.
Okay,
So
That's part of the rest.
that's part of it.
okay. Now,
I'm sure he would.
possession of marijuana.
Hey, if they stop and tell you, you gotta. They can't talk to him.
Says the whole police department. Well, this doesn't apply in your situation, okay? Now, condition number 4 doesn't apply either because that only applies in the DWI case. However, condition number 5 does apply. Condition number 5 states that defendant is prohibited from possessing a firearm or ammunition unless defendant is a peace officer as defined by section 1.07 Penal Code and actively engaged in employment as a sworn full-time paid employee of the state agency or political subdivision. Do you understand that condition? Now, do you understand that if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked, and if your bond is revoked, the warrant will be issued for your arrest? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, get us to Ms. We need to make a copy of that. Once you make a copy, we give a copy to him. All right. Mr. Himmler. Let's go look at the trial document. Damon Dwayne Ned. Okay, this is cause number M333336, case of style of state of Texas versus Damon Dwayne Ned. Mr. Ned, is that your full name? Yes, sir. How you doing, Mr. Ned?
All right, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Ned, you represented your case by your attorney, Attorney Wright Kimbler. Attorney Kimbler, how are you doing?
So far, so good.
That's good. Mr. Kimbler, what is your announcement in Mr. Ned's case?
Ready?
State?
Thanks, Red.
Okay, now, Mr. Kimbler, we're gonna give this case a number in our trial order. But right now, you and your client are expected to be back here tomorrow at 1:30, time we pick a jury, okay? And our court,
Wait till get some number.
we'll give you a reset if we don't think we're gonna get to,
So he gets the number tomorrow
no, we're gonna number him sometime today. I don't know what time.
He's number 20.
It's right now.
We still want him back.
Well, right now, we still want him back.
Be back tomorrow.
Okay, we gonna give him the reset, stay in contact with your attorney, because if that changes, your attorney is going to let you know.
Right now, be back.
Okay. Okay, Taylor Parker. Okay. This is cause number M310746. Case and style of state of Texas versus Taylor Marie Parker.
Yes,
Ms. Parker, is that your full name?
yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Parker?
Fine, yes, sir.
Oh, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Parker, you represented in your case by your attorney, Brian Kimbler. Attorney Kimbler, what's your announcement in Ms. Parker's case? Okay, state.
That's right.
Okay, this one is number 2, huh?
Yeah, it's old.
Number 1.
Well.
Well-
We got a guy custom.
Oh, yeah, because it went on with, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Right.
well, he's on it. He's always the person who's.
Right. Right. So she's right there. So she needs to be back here tomorrow at
1:30.
1:30.
That's fine.
All right. All right. That's Taylor Marie Parker. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna give her a reset? Okay. That's telling you only have 2 on the trial doc?
What about Robin Mars?
What did you say?
Robin Mars? An houseman?
Oh, it's not on the trial doc. That's, okay, this is cause number M332200, case of style of state of Texas versus Robin Elizabeth Mars.
Yes,
Ms. Mars. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Mars, you're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Brian Kimbler. Attorney Kimbler, what is your announcement in Ms. Mars' case?
I set her for trial.
Give us, okay, we're gonna get a reset for trial. Ms. Okay. October 2nd, 2023. Ms. Mars, your case is gonna be reset to October 2nd, 2023. For trial. Just please, you could get in the line,
Yeah, good one.
get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Kimberly, that's your last case?
I think Brandon Everett is on, he was set concurrently with the case in drug court. I think he was a bond forfeiture in drug court.
What's his name?
Brandon Everett, is he here?
Everett? What docket is he? I don't see him. Does it show Kimberly?
Already left.
Oh, yes, it is on page 3.
Well, yeah, he's been reset to August 21st.
Now, Mr. Kimbler, in cause number M333960, you'd like to have Mr. Everett's case reset to the same date as the
Yeah,
felon?
August 21st.
Okay. Yeah, just, choose to reset it to the same date of your felony.
And then I had a client taken into custody a moment ago in the 252nd who has a case here that I'm representing him on, Terrence Mays. And I need a bond, so.
Mays?
Yeah, I don't know that he's on the docket today. He had a warrant out of the court on a meeting.
We have the magistrate at the jail, setting bonds.
He's here, I need to arrange him and set it here.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, we just say, hold on a minute. Mr. Onset. Ms. Jones, would you please come forward? This is cause number M328386, case of Solid State of Texas versus Oskira Tatiana Jones. Ms. Jones, is that your full name? Oskira Tatiana Jones? Okay, how you doing, Ms. Jones? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Jones. You're represented in your case by your attorney Langston Adams, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Adams, how are you doing?
Doing well, can't complain.
That's good. Now, Mr. Adams, I see a note on the docket sheet saying that Ms. Jones was to sign up for pretrial diversion on June 1st of 2023.
Right, she did show up for that, but the fee, she's telling me that she did not have, and they asked her to reset it because she didn't have the money
What
to
did,
pay.
okay, did they give you does she have another reset date?
No, I'm not aware of that. I know the next contract signing is on October the 5th, and I told her to contact Miss Sherry Sterling to make sure that she'll put her for the 5th. Because it's a money thing.
Oh, you just told you today. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna reset it to after October the 5th. Okay, it's gonna be reset for October the 16th. Now you need to get in contact with Miss Sherry at the probation department. And so they can give you a date so that you can pay your fees to get started in the pretrial diversion. All right. You get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Adams, I think this is your only case. You're free to go. You have as well, and you have a blessed day. Your reset will be sent to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Bye. Court is back in session and cause number, Clause number M333734, case of Solid State of Texas versus LaShawna Renee Nicole Alexander. Ms. Alexander, is that your full name? Ms. Alexander, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Alexander, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Alexander, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Alexander? You doing fine? That's good. Now, Ms. Alexander, I have before me a document. Well, Ms. Alexander, you're represented by your attorney, Ryan Matuska. Mr. Matuska, you waive a record in this case.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Alexander, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor, well, it's titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Renee Nicole, well, Lashana Renee Nicole Alexander, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of failure to identify fugitive from justice, which allegedly occurred on or about July 12th of 2022 while you were in Jefferson County, Texas. Do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest. Now, are you pleading? Okay, let's see what she has here. Okay, on this one, it has guilty. Are you pleading? You pleading guilty? Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
I am guilty.
Okay, now, Miss Alexander, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize this document? Yes, say yes.
Yes, sir.
And on page, I'm go back. You got the wrong box check. It's supposed to be a Class A. Class A misdemeanor. Yeah. Failure to identify fugitive from justice. Okay, thank you. Now, Ms. Alexander, on page 1 of the misdemeanor plea admonishment, it has one box that's checked stating that this is a Class A misdemeanor. Now, the range of punishment for a Class A misdemeanor is you could be given confinement that does not exceed 365 days, which is a year in the county jail. You could be given a fine that does not exceed $4,000, or you could be given both such fine and confinement. Do you understand that? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, LA, on a line next to a box that says guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this same document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that is titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Alexander, before you sign and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Matuska, go over these documents with you? Did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Okay, state.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor, we would.
Any objections, Mr. Matuska?
No objection.
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Matuska, you advised and counsel Ms. Alexander. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Alexander, your attorney, Mr. Matuska, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Alexander, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given, and will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, we do. In exchange for a plea of guilty or no contest, the state's offering 15 days with 15 days credit and tax and retired court costs.
Okay. Ms. Alexander, the state is offering that you serve 15 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 15 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you will be given credit for the time that you have already served. The court cost in this case, Ms. Alexander, is $327, but you will not be required to pay the $327 court cost because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court cost will be taxed and retired. Ms. Alexander, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? Do you accept the state's offer? Ms. Alexander, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Alexander, hold on a minute. Okay. Ms. Alexander, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Alexander, if you do not have anything else holding you in on this case, you'll be getting out today on this case. Okay. Now, Ms. Alexander, this will conclude your case. You're free to go and follow the bailiff, and you have a hold on. Oh, you have to sign and get your fingerprints by our clerk right here. She has to do it on there. Thank you. Ms. Isaacs? Ms. Isaacs?
Yes, sir.
The attorney, Mr. Burbank, did not appear. He appeared on Zoom for a short period of time. And then he got off of Zoom. We have been trying to contact him. Your case is gonna have to be reset. And then we're gonna give you a reset date. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman for that date, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks for being patient with us and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Let's use over there.